time has finally come to replace the dreaded fuel filter on the Mercedes W163. In this case, it's an ML500. And I could see why it's dreaded so much. I looked at several of the videos on YouTube, and people are taking seats apart and carpet apart and all sorts of access panel to the fuel pump. And I got to tell you, I don't believe that is how it's done. It's Mercedes. The engineering behind it is phenomenal. And I think that the problem lies in understanding how these fittings that connect, or not the fittings, but the connectors that connect to the fuel filter, how these clips work, and I believe that is where the problem lies. So what we're going to talk about today is not only replacing a fuel filter on the Mercedes ML500 W163 platform, but we're also going to talk about where to get these filters, because although it is a scheduled maintenance item, due every 60,000 miles or 5 years, whichever comes first, Mercedes has decided they will no longer support the manufacturing and supplying of this scheduled maintenance item, this fuel filter. You cannot get it from a reputable source anymore, such as Mercedes manufacturing, dealers, car parts, other than some questionable sources such as Made in China and Amazon. So we'll cover that as well. I'm going to show you what kind of tools we're going to use, what these connectors look like, and hopefully we'll make this job happen without having to remove the seats, because honestly, I don't believe that is necessary. So let's jump right in and make this job happen. First things first, this is nowadays where you could find the filter for the Mercedes ML500. The part number for it in a 2004 ML500 is 163 477 0801. There is versions B of this filter, but pay attention to the connectors, because it does vary from year to year. In this particular case, the one that I'm looking at, the one that I'll be replacing, looks like this. And here's the actual filter. Here it is right here on the older cars. But before I get into the filter, these are the prices that you're going to end up paying for it. Now, obviously, they swing between $32, $33 up to, I believe I saw one for $45, but more or less, this is the price range you're going to be facing for these fuel filters. In this particular case, in this setup, this is what my filter looks like, but it changes from year to year on this particular nipple right here. You'll notice that these they're beveled, and in other words, there's a clip type connection that takes place, and hopefully it's not too difficult. Let me show you where this filter is. You probably already know about it, and you've probably seen a bunch of videos about it already, but I'm going to show you again anyway as a precautionary measure. Now, obviously, you have to remove the rear left wheel, and you have to remove the plastic shrouds that is here, and here it is right there. You see it? Behold, the fuel filter. There's a connection in the front. In this particular case, it looks like it has a clip. There is 3 connections in the back. Now, I already managed to disconnect this one because I wanted to see if the technique that I had learned actually works, and it looks like it works. So I'll share that with you, and hopefully we'll be able to replace and remove this filter without getting too crazy about taking seats and carpets and so on and so forth. Now, let me show you how these connectors work. All right, here we go. The tools that you're going to need for this job, hopefully, only boils down to this. A few picks, maybe for the different angles, and a flathead screwdriver to take the clamp off of the filter itself. This is what the filter looks like. I did buy some hoses, being that I'm always stuck doing this sort of work on a weekend, and access to parts can be difficult. So I figured I'd take the time to buy the parts first, just in case this is needed. I will be using a fuel type lubricant, and I'm going to use some lubricants and carburetor cleaners to not only joggle the old hoses that connect to the fittings, like this one here and these 2 right here. I'm going to spray some lubricant, just move them around a little bit so that it loosens them up, even the clips, and then I'll clean everything off with a carburetor cleaner so that can actually grip the fittings and remove them. So this right here is what a typical hose. Now these come from Phoebe, I believe, and the part number for the feeder line is 163 470 2864. You see it? And this is the return line. Now we're still talking about on the regulator side. We're talking about this side here. And this is the return line, also from Phoebe or Febby. And the return line part number is 163 470 2964. And I guess 64 again. So let's take a look at these hoses. I'll put this aside right here. This is your feeder line. This is your return line, and this is your vent line for the regulator. This is your regulator right here that sets the pressure based on what the demand is, and will set the quantity of fuel that comes out of this side right here. Now, from what I understand, just by looking at the engineering and design of this filter and regulator assembly, that the fuel pump system on this W163 ML500 is a fixed speed fuel pump. So what it does, it'll pump fuel on this side, and if there's no demand, a lot of fuel will come out of this side back into the tank. Whereas as soon as you start stepping on the gas and the demand increases, what happens is that the amount going back to the tank will decrease, and the regulator will open and allow more fuel in. And this is the vent line. So again, this is your return line. Here it is right here. And you'll notice there is this clip right here. You see it? The way this works is that you press on here. Might as well show you. This is how it goes engaged. You just press it in, right, and it clips right in. And then you let's say it's engaged. In order to take it off, you have to press it in a little bit, pull on these clips somewhat, and the hose comes right off. It should be literally this easy, because as you can see how this clip works? It has a engaged, disengaged. So you kind of press on the hose on the line a little bit, you pull back on these clips, and at the same time you move the hose away. Same goes for this one right here. These two are about the same dimensions. This is the side that goes This is the side that goes on the fuel pump, and the concept is the same. You see it? You engage, press down to engage. You don't press on these. You don't. It's a engage, disengage type clip. See it? Engaged, disengaged. And that's how these work. So now what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to soak with oil the connectors, because this thing has been in there for quite some time, and it's been at least 120,000 miles since the fuel filter was replaced on this particular car. It's knocking on 300,000 miles. And again, these are due every 60,000 miles or 5 years, whichever comes first. So now you know how to disconnect and connect these fittings. Now the hard part is going to be actually getting to these fittings, and hopefully we'll be able to achieve that. I'm going to set up a camera the best I can so that you can see how this is removed from the car and the new one installed. Let's do it. We are just about set up for the job. I'm going to use an aviation grade lubricant. It's called LPS2 to spray the connections on the filter. And then after I jog all the hoses around a little bit for loosen up the clamps and whatnot, I'm going to clean the surfaces with the carburetor cleaner so that I actually have some grip and it doesn't become slippery. Mind you, don't make the wife mad. Do get some kind of collection device so that everything that falls to the ground is collected to the best way possible. Now what I'll do next is I'll set you up on a stand. Hopefully you'll get to see everything so that you miss nothing, and I'll show you how this is done. All right, buddy, let's do this. Let's see what we could do in terms of lube. Like I said, I'm going to lube that a little bit. I'm going to lube that connection a little bit, and the one in the back. Hopefully I'm getting it. Okay, it looks like we're pretty well lubed. All right, now we're just going to let that sit for a little bit. Let the oil do its thing. This front one here, unlike see this clip right here, unlike the back ones, it has a gated type clip. It has like a fork, if you will, so that it engages that bevel you saw on the filter earlier. So I juggled them, moved them around a little bit, you know, just to get them ready to move, if you will. And yeah, I think we're ready here. Now let's go ahead and spray some carburetor cleaner on these surfaces. Okay, we should be just about ready to rock and roll here. Okay, so this way we have some grip. Okay, we clean it with carburetor cleaner, and now it's time to try to remove these this fuel filter. But the first thing I'm going to do, though, before we remove the fuel filter, I'm going to remove this clamp to see if it gives us some movement forward and aft, so that we can better operate here. We'll take it off completely. And then we'll just reinsert it with the new filter. Let's see here. Okay, the clamp is just about removed. I like to have the clamp totally removed and out of the way, have as much movement as possible, and have as much lack of obstruction, if you will, as possible as we do this job, so that because I'm confident we can do this. All right, let's remove the clamp. Okay, the clamp is out. There it is. We're going to start, and I'm going to work on the forward clamp next, and I'm going to use this 90-degree pick. Now, I'm of the philosophy that if you're patient and you take your time and you don't rush, we should be able to do this job and do it right. Because I think it's possible. I think it's possible to do this job from under here. I understand, you know, that the space is limited, but you know what? Sometimes life is like that. Okay, it looks like it's moving upwards. Let's see. Hopefully we didn't break it. Let's see. It looks like the clamp broke. Okay, this is the clamp right here. You see it? But the other half broke. Let's see if we can still remove it. See if we can push it up from under it. There it is. There it is. Here's the other part of the gate, the clamp, if you will. And this is what it's supposed to look like when it's. Can you see it? Yeah, this is what it's supposed to look like. All right, so let's see if now we should be able to actually remove this line from the filter. Woo! A lot of pressure. There you go. There we go. The pressure is gone. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't mean to squirt everywhere. I know we depressurized now. Okay, now, so we get the front line undone. Now let's work on disconnecting the rear part. All right, my friend, pressure is gone. Let's see if we can remove the remaining 2 out of the 4 fuel lines that are installed in this filter. We got the clamp out. We got the forward line off. Let's try to do it with the left hand. See if I can do this with the same technique that I showed you earlier. And now we were going to engage and disengage this. Just be super careful, because these are rigid lines, my friend. It can be, you got to be careful. You know, I spoke to this guy, and he was the one who told me it is possible to do this job from underneath. Now, is it easy? Absolutely not. But this is how the procedures actually want you to replace this line. So I'm gonna have to trust that this is possible, albeit it takes a little bit of a dexterity here, just to just to get these clips to move from around the, here it is, the hose is moving. I'm going to press on it with one hand. All right, my friend, we got the 3rd hose removed. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to try to shine some light on it. See it? That's your feeder line to the filter. It's also dislodged. Now all we have left to do is the return line right there. You see it? Same concept. It's the same concept, my friend. The one where you pull back on a clamp, and you just have to pull back on those clamps and then dislodge the line. It's literally that simple of a concept. Now, getting the fingers in there, it's a whole nother story, but it's happening. It's just one line left to do, and I can do it. Unfortunately, I can't get a camera in there for you to see, but again, just pull back on the clips, and while you're putting back on the clips, dislodge the line. It's possible, my friend. And the filter is out. See, the lines, I don't know if you can see it, they're still in there, and they're positioned in such a way. See, that's your return line. That's your feeder line, and that's the one that goes to the engine. This one here, we're going to reuse the same clip. I'm going to show you. And yeah, and let me show you something else. So yeah, we didn't remove anything out of the back seat. It is definitely possible, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did it on this unit right here. All right, so these are the lines that I had to remove. You see how they're in right now? See it? They're in. Now, this is a hand job. There's no tools, no pliers, no special tools required. You literally have to be patient, get in there, and be patient. Use your fingers. Like in this particular one, I did it like this. I pushed this up like so. I pushed see how this is stuck? All you do, you move it back on a clip. Like I told you, move back on a clip, and the line comes right out like so. And the same thing here. You move back on a clip. You don't squeeze anything. You just pull back on a clip, and the line comes right out. This one was a little harder. With one finger, I was moving it. I did this one first. This one was the first one. This one was the second line that I did. This one was the third one, and this one was the fourth one and the hardest one. What I did, I would press on with these 2 fingers in like fashion, push up on a clip, and with this finger, while I was holding the filter like this, and a little bit of this area, and the line came right off. Now, the opposite is going to be even easier. To put these lines in, they just clip right in. This is going to be super quick going in. That I will be able to show you. See it? That's it. This one here, we're going to put it in, and then I'm going to put the gate, even though it's splayed. I'm still going to reuse it, and I'll just order another one, and at some point I'll replace it. And this one, same thing. It just clips right in, and then we'll put the clamp back on. So let's go ahead and install this new filter right here in place. See? Didn't even have to replace the lines. Didn't even have to remove the seats. All right, let's do this. All right, the fuel filter is going back in. Here it is. We're going to just slip it right in like so. But before I do that, I'm going to use some fuel lube. This is from where I work. It's a rather sticky substance, lubricating. This is a fuel lubricating grease, if you will, that we use in the aviation world for when we deal with fuel lines. And all I'm doing is putting some of this right on these orifices here. You see it? So that the hose is slipping nice and easy. And these will clip right in, and we don't have to do anything special to it. This will literally slip right in. And then for this one, the gator will be a 2-part clip instead of a 1-part clip. Okay, let's put this in. Let's slip this. Let's do it. All right, my friend, here we go. No special tools needed. This should literally clip right into the feeder, the return, and the line that goes to the engine. All right. Let me see if I could get this one. I gotta tell you, let me get a headlamp on for myself. Hold on, so that I can see what I'm doing from this angle over here, because should be able to see the lines from here. It is okay. Okay. Come on, baby, go in. Okay. All right, the return is in. Okay, feeder and return are in. I'm gonna hook up the line that goes almost to the tank. I mean to the engine. Sorry. This one is almost in. Just want to make sure that these are engaged all the way. They don't clip out. This one is not coming out. Okay. All right, this one is all the way in. Wow, this is almost too easy. Okay. I'm just going to press on these lines and make sure that they've engaged properly. We will do a leak check. This one is also... Yeah, they're all engaged. Wow, that was quick. Then we'll cut the zip tie for the vent line, and we'll put the clamp in. Stand by. Sorry, I went to get some mini dikes to cut the zip tie for the vent line of the diaphragm of the regulator, because it kept getting in the way when I was trying to stick my hand in there. Okay. I just gotta cut the zip tie. There we go. Zip tie is cut. So we can now hook up the vent line. Again, it should be super easy, just like the other 3 lines. Oh yeah, it slipped right in. It's not all the way in yet. I'm gonna move the clips back. Oh, I see. There it is. Now it's in. It was interfering with the lip of the filter. Okay, everything is connected. Now I'm going to put the clips for the gates in. Again, it's going to be a 2-part clip, but it should be just fine. I think it'll work. There it is. I'm going to put these. This right here. I'm just going to put these right back in, just the way I took them out. because probably I can't get this right now, so I'm just gonna have to deal with it, but it's all right. We could still make it happen. Like Mariah Carey says, you know, I don't think she's ever said that, but that's not the point of this conversation. I'm just excited that I was able to do this filter job. Unlike what many people were saying, oh, you gotta remove the seed, you gotta remove you gotta do all kinds of crazy things. Yeah, I am proof that that was not necessary. That's it. Even the line to the engine is done. If we want to play it safe, I could even put a zip tie around it. And so this way, if there's ever a danger that this clip might fall out, we're eliminating that danger right now. But before we continue further, I want to put the clamp back on. And this one here, we're going to undo it all the way. I'm just going to wrap it around it. There it is, hold standby. So far, I am 3 hours into this job. It took more time to putting it back together, 5 minutes. Taking it apart, forever. But we did it. We definitely did. It's possible. So this video essentially dispels the myth that you have to remove the interiors of the car. You know, it's funny thing is that I was thinking about this. How is it possible that you have to undo the interiors? Like, this is not German engineering. That's more like a who does that? Who does that? Maybe the Brits? Maybe India? I don't know. The Germans don't do this sort of thing. They don't gotta take the seat out. What kind of nonsense is that? Okay, I'm doing a clamp with the fingers right now, just to get it going. I don't know if you can see it. And I don't have small hands either. This was okay. Let me get a screwdriver. Get this going a little faster. And then we'll put it in position. Then what we'll do, after we cinch this down, we're going to do a leak check on it. That's of paramount importance. Because we could go through all this. If this thing is leaking fuel, then we got a real problem. Then we have to investigate where's the leak coming from, and so on and so forth. Almost. Okay. The filter is cinched in position. This thing is not going anywhere. I do want to put a zip tie, and then I'll show you everything here. I'll show you the whole thing, caboodle here, how this thing went all back together nice. All right, my friend, look at this. The job is done. All the lines are connected back in. See what I did with the zip tie around the clip for the gated clip? This is it. It's all done. We did it, my friend. We did it. Here is I don't know if you can see the return line. You see it? I don't know if you can see the return line. I'm trying to give you the best possible. Here, you see it? Yeah, was it hard? Yeah, absolutely. But we're not done yet. We still have to leak check, so we're going to do that next. How do you do that? We're going to prime the pump. We're going to prime the line by turning the ignition on 2-3 times. And what that'll do, it'll pressurize the system, and we'll check for leaks then, and then we'll start up the car. Make sure that there is no any messages on the master caution panel. Let's go ahead and turn the ignition on. Hopefully the keys are still in the car. They're not. Let me get the keys. Hold on. All right, here we go. Keys in the ignition. 1, 2. All right, and 3. Now that should suffice. We're not going to start the car and look for leaks. And she is running. Let's go look at the fuel filter. And I must say, my friend, we are looking leak-free, leak-free. Go ahead and put this back on, super easy, 10mm plastic. Put the wheel back on, 110 foot-pounds. And don't leave just yet. We did it, buddy, we did it. Share this video with everyone who has a W163 and tell them this. It is possible to do this filter without removing seats, carpets, and so on and so forth. All you need is this right here. Dexterity with your fingers. Your wife will love you if you know how to do sorry. If you know how to do this. All you really need is a screwdriver for the clamp, and I showed you how to remove and install those lines on the filter. If you have a gated clip on the front end of the filter that goes to the fuel, it's a different story. Just go ahead and nice and easy with a 90-degree pick, you should be able to pry that out before you do the filter. If anything, order one so that in case you break it, you have another clip to spare. That is it, my friend. The job took 3 hours. 3 hours and the job is done. The car is running and it's leak-free. Well, I still got to put the wheel back on. Just make sure you just smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. And give it a thumbs up, buddy. If you have any questions or comments on the channel, go ahead and have at it. And I will see you at the next video. Take care.